the Texas game. Just what do you think of Mike's team? He's got a lot of young players, but he's got some talent too. What's your take on the team so far?
Well, I've been impressed with the fact that they're guarding folks, and you know the key is how hard they compete. And when you have a lot of new kids, if you can't get them to play hard, you got a real serious problem. Even though you have a little bit maybe talent. But he's got them playing hard, and if he can continue them playing hard and continue to improve like they went from one game to the next, I expect for them to be a pretty solid ball club down come January, February.
There's nobody can compare what you went through that first year here, but just that aside, how difficult is it to coach somebody else's players that first year, no matter what?
That's very difficult. I mean, especially if you got a coach that's totally opposite from the coach they had just previous, it makes a total difference. That's why, you know, if you go football and you smash mouth football and then all of a sudden you want to run with it or you want to do something different, you don't have those kind of kids that you recruited. In basketball, you're going to run with it, you got to get some kids that'll run. You got to get more athletes. You got to be able to develop the kid to fit the system that you want to run. And sometimes it takes a while.
What do you do that first year to try and kind of mix and match?
Well, a lot of times what coaches usually do is try to revert back to what they were so used to doing. You know, especially in the game of basketball, you know, I remember Eddie was a good, hard-nosed, man-to-man basketball coach, but they spent a lot of time passing the ball. Whereas I hated 5 or 6 passes. Because that means that it's going to get, sometimes it can get tougher to score. Sometimes your best shot is after the 3rd pass or the 4th pass, you know. But looking for the best shot immediately. Whereas a lot of coaches don't preach it that way. They preach, you know, move it around, and fans that are used to that kind of deal and have been successful, it's hard for them to accept the fact that, hey, we're not going to move it around just to be moving it. To look good, we want to be able to attack and score, and then get on the defensive side. So the team that I got with inherited from Eddie, they were big, pretty slow, not very athletic, but good kids. They played hard, they worked hard. I had no complaints there, but they weren't the kind of players that I thought could help me win a national championship.
Football coach Morris, just kind of what does he do in this situation, you feel?
I think he can only do what he's trying to do is put the best players out on the field and make something happen. You know, and it looks like some of the things that they did, particularly in the last ball game, some things happened. You know, that's good. You know, make some plays. I think it's all about making a play. We're not a play away. We're players away. That's a big difference. You know, it'd be different if if you just needed two or 3 players and you can do it, fix it. Basketball, you might need 1 player that can fix a lot of things. But they're away with athletes and talent. They're not up to the powers of the Alabamas, the Auburns, the Mississippi State, Ole Miss. They got some players.
What was it like? I know the outcome wasn't what Arkansas fans wanted, but what was it like seeing Arkansas play in El Paso against Texas? What was that like watching?
Well, I wasn't there. My wife's not there. But to be able to, as I was talking to some of my best friends, some of my coaching partners, some of the guys who coached against me in high school, some of those guys got to go to the game and they got a chance to see a Razorback basketball game. And they were impressed. They were impressed with the fact that Texas is huge. And they thought Mike would get run off the floor. Arkansas would get run off the floor. And, you know, for a while there, they did have a way with it. But I think after we settled in and settled down, they had to come to win the ball game. They had to come up with a shot that was a pretty good shot. So just to have some of the fans that I went through as a high school coach, and basically they followed me all through my career. I was really happy to see a Razorback team play in El Paso.
As a coach, how frustrating is it to see the free throw shooting be down right now?
Well, that's always been the big problem. We've had some decent free throw shooting teams, but we also had some that didn't shoot so well. But anytime you have a team that can play you pretty close, you got to make free throws coming down the stretch. There's no ifs and buts about being a winner. You have to make free throws coming down the stretch. And I think they will as time goes on, because they improved the other night pretty drastically in the second half. That's a drastic improvement. It's confidence. That's what it's all about at this stage.
Coached a lot of great players. What's your take on Daniel Gafford?
I think he's got tremendous potential. Potential is one thing. He's got tremendous potential. The thing that I worry the most about is that the surrounding of him, people all over him. I think in the last 2 games he's had 12 turnovers.
Yeah.
The center, he's got to make a decision. You see, that's why I said the game is a game of decisions. You got to make that decision day in and day out, and I think that's going to happen, because he's, you can break down the film and say, wow, that guy was open. I could have gave it to him. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's all about figuring out how to cut down on things and get better. And with him, that's probably what's missing. Of course, he's got to make some free throws, because they're going to foul him. Because everybody's keying on him.
What's your thoughts, Coach, on the freshman, Isaiah Joe? What have you seen from him?
Oh, I love that kid. That kid, I told him, I said, shoot it. When you don't have a shot, shoot it. Your shot, no good. A bad shot is a good shot. In some teams, and I said, that's what you have. You have a shot that it may not be a good shot, but it's good for this team. So he's kind of guy that I think in time, as he gather himself and get that swag about himself, that he's saying that, hey, I'm one of the best, then you're gonna see something very special.
What's your feelings about the 25th anniversary of the championship team? And I guess they're going to honor the team in March and do stuff during the year.
Well, I'm very happy about that, because I really found out a little bit about it, I guess, yesterday. But anytime you have a team that's represented this university as a national champion, I'd love to see them get together from time to time to celebrate what they had accomplished, and that's a big accomplishment. I don't think we realize how big an accomplishment that is. Almost going back-to-back national championship. It wasn't like it was a fluke. It was there again for the second taking. And who knows, if Corliss and Scotty came back, it might have been the third taking. So at that time, we pretty much ruled basketball. And I ain't gonna say basketball in the Southwest or the Southeast. I'm talking about basketball.
How much did the door open in 10 years ago, I think, or whenever it was? How much did that help just kind of move everything along?
Well, I think the thing that I was appreciating was Jeff Long called me on 2 or 3 occasions to have lunch with him and sit down and just visit. And I got to know who he was and what his ideas was. And he had right then said that we're going to try to get your team back up here. We had already started that with Wayne Stellick, who had his little sort of touchdown meetings where we brought our kids in, and then of course later on Jeff brought in the group, and that took a lot of the pressure off of the youngsters who would not attend games. You want the old guys to when they leave in school, those are your recruiters. Hey man, you need to go to Arkansas. When you got them shut mouth, and then like I don't know if I want. You don't want that. Not in a case that you're dealing with in Arkansas. It's not as easy people think it is to recruit. I think even the guy that took my place, they did some pretty good jobs in recruiting. But the game is relying on recruitment, and you better get you some players, else you're gonna finished last.
There's been a groundswell for a while to get the court named after you. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if it does, what would that mean to Nolan Richardson to have the court at Bud Walton named after him?
Well, I've never really worried or I guess cared about whether it be named after me. I've been blessed with, I'm in 13 Hall of Fames. I mean, there's not very many Hall of Fames I couldn't get in, and particularly at home. I got school named after me. I've got gymnasium that I coached at a high school named after me, recreation center named after, so I've been blessed. If something like that comes along, then that's another blessing that was bestowed upon me. Other than that, I don't go around saying, hey, that ought to be named after me. It's got Bud Walton's on the floor. That's who gave $15-20 million. I didn't. I just brought a team in, and I thought, which was Mayberry and Day, and those guys really got. It wasn't a team that won the national championship that got that building. It was those guys prior to that, and so Mr. Walton fell in love with that group and thought that we needed to be playing in something really beautiful, and he was able to get it for us.
Indiana's coming in here on Sunday. The first time Arkansas has played Indiana a couple times, but it's the first time they've ever come to Arkansas. That's one of the few big-time programs you didn't get to coach against in your career.
That's true.
What's your feelings on Indiana coming in? How much you looking forward to that game?
It's funny how things comes around sometimes. The year that Indiana, and I was a senior in high school, in college, if we'd have won our first game in the opening round of the NCAA, which was the first time that school had ever gone to a tournament, we would meet Bobby Knight and the Ohio State team the second round. We got beat, they won, they ended up, I think, winning the national championship. Then the next time we had a chance to play them, we got beat by Kansas.
Actually, Kansas beat Indiana, then they beat you guys, yeah.
And we thought we were going to meet Indiana. So that didn't happen. So all along, if you name a coach, I basically have played against him, except for Bob Knight. From Dean Smith to Boeheim. Back in those days, coaches had names. Today, you could. I can't tell you the name of a coach. That many of them at programs. Back in the days, the coaches was that's who they built the billboards around, the coaches. And the star players such as 7-footers. Those days are over. So, but I always wondered, Knight and I had never met after all the years that he coached. A heck of a lot more years than I coached.
Maybe you guys could play one-on-one. You probably beat him. You're a better college player than he was. He was a backup.
Yeah.
He was a bench warmer.
He came in and got a point or two.
But as far as Arkansas playing Indiana Sunday, are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to that. Not so much because I'm looking forward to seeing them being able to play that type of that caliber of basketball team to see where we are. That's what these games are for. This is exhibition season, I would call it. There's 3 seasons for us concerned, and this is one of the first part of the season to see where we are and how far we got to go.